hike, labor protest, disconnect NERC, TCN, discos offices. And the kicker says privatization of power sector colossal failure, demands complete reversal. We've heard your concerns. This is coming from the NERC chairman. And the last kicker here says we'll go back to drawing board. Federal government tells Labour. And we have some pictures here. The NLC president, Comrade Joe Ajero, top left, leading the protest and picketing at the headquarters of the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission towards reversing the electricity tariff hike in Abuja. This happened yesterday. And above two are scenes of the protests in other cities. We have Yonogwa, coming from the CBN Governor Cardoso. And the story can be. And on page 15, escalating public service wage bills, increasing cost of government. From the Senate President Akpabio. And on pages 7 and 9, Google polls, INEC resumes voters registration in Edo, Ondo State. I'll take this last, is on sports here. NFF unveils Finidi as Super Eagles coach, names Amokachi orders as assistants. See the details on page 29 of the Vanguard newspaper. We'll move on to the Punch newspaper, and I'll still take it above the masthead. Federal government may need supplementary budget to pay minimum wage. This is coming from the IMF, and the story is on page 21. Page 21 too, CBN may intervene as Naira slides to 1,478 to a dollar. Atiku Obi initiate alliance talks ahead of 2027 polls. See details on page 20 of the Punch newspaper. Beside the masthead, EFCC indicts Sirika, brother in new 19 billion naira fraud. See story on page 20. And still the big story here, electricity tariff hike. Federal government convenes meeting as Labour threatens indefinite protest. Federal government to address Labour's complaints. Protesters storm NERC, block discos offices in states. See story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And the story beside this picture story, POS operators drag CAC to court. Details on page 21. And on page 8, governorship poll, INEC resume voters registration in Edo and Ondo State. To the bottom strip stories, federal government plans performance-based salary scheme for workers. See the details on page 9. And on page 5, Amotekun arrests 45 suspected criminals in Ondo State. Now to the last story. Delta murder. 18-year-old son found dead, 2 unconscious. The story is on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. Like we rightfully say every day, get the newspapers for yourself and get the details of the dailies this morning. We have so many stories before us, and in my introduction, you can't wake up any day without any drama unfolding in Nigeria as it stands now. We've heard the hike in, we've heard the cyber security levy. That one has been suspended for now. Now is the electricity tariff hike. Where are we going from here? But before we take it up, I would love us to see this video of the protest that ensued yesterday.
country, electricity is generated by the workers. Hello? NEC does not generate electricity. For that, NEC will be without power for the next 1 week. Solidarity, Nigerian workers will not distribute power. They will not generate power. They will not transmit power to NEC. Hello? NEC that comes out with a policy that makes people to stay in darkness, they will stay in darkness for the next 1 week. Hello? Now we get the power. Hello? Now we are here at the office of the Minister of Power. We are here at the office of the Transmission Company of Nigeria. 2 key sectors. I don't know whether the MDs are around. If the MDs are not around and the minister is not around, I think whoever is around should come down. If there's any worker still staying in the building, please can you come down and join us?
Yes, sir. How will join you? Will you not join us? How will join you?
Guys in the building,
Come on,
join us.
how will join you? Whichever way. How will join you? Whichever way we must join us together.
All workers in the building, come down and workers in Powerhouse Peace Compound.
Come down.
Powerhouse has become chemical. No going in, no coming out. If you are in,
We've just watched a bit of the protest that issued yesterday from the Labour, the NLC. I would like to take it this way. We've seen the Labour organizing so many protest strikes and what have you in the past. Talking about the wage, we've not heard anything from it. And knowing who Joe Ajero used to be, he used to be this tough and rugged unionist. So I don't know what has become of him, because when they start all these things, it's just like a noise, and at the end of it, we don't hear the outcome of whatever it is they are fighting for. Do we still hold these people accountable? Yes, go ahead, please.
Good morning, Nigerians. It's just unfortunate. I see NLC as a bunch of hypocrites. They cost the stage of these infractions in our economy and how things are done today. They give weaponly support for the level we have gone based on the level of the economy. This executive of the NLC is the worst executive so far from the history of Nigerians.
You know, we've said so many things about the
I want to break it down. I want to break it down. You see, from 160 naira, 180 naira per liter of fuel to 600 and something, sometimes 1,000 naira per liter, and you still expect magic, and you guys were comfortable. There was nothing. The involvement you were having with the federal government was just a coffee roundtable discussion, just for their selfish aim and desire. If you knew, you were patient, and we have run through this over a year now, buying a petrol more than 600% increase, and you are not talking about ADC tariff increment. They have staffs to pay. They have a lot of things to take care of. I'm not speaking for them, but this fuel increase, have they protested based on the days and the timeline given for Kaduna Refinery to work, Warri Refinery to work? Have they protested over it? Do they think Nigerians are fools? What they are supposed to do, don't do it. So trying to make us clap as if they are doing something extraordinary. They are the worst executives so far in the Nigerian history of Labour Congress. I think those associations should be scrapped. It's unfortunate that civil society are now mere politicians. If not, we should be able to run and have a pressure group from the civil society angle, not NLC. I'm not saying what they are doing now is already late. They have brought a lot of palliatives. Do you see, the issue is that they are more concerned about what will get into their own into their own purse and pocket, than what will affect ordinary Nigerians. So we shouldn't waste our time about what they are doing, because all what will happen and end up probably when they give them free tariff for them to run their houses and office, you will not see them on the street again. That's the type of talk they will want to talk. So I just feel annoyed with their own understanding on how they should form as pressure group when it comes to the agitations what ordinary Nigerians are facing. That is the area I'm looking at it. Okay. And if they don't understand that basis and fundamental, then anything they are doing lack merit.
All right, Doctor, over to you now. So far, will you say these people have done something, have come to a conclusion and resolved something as a union so far?
To the best of my knowledge, no union in Nigeria has succeeded in whatever protest they've ever engaged. None. From the NUC, how do you call them?
TUC.
To NLC, to the University Union, what's the name? ASU. To all of them, I've not seen what they have fought and brought to a conclusion since I got to understand what union is about in this country.
Is it that they are not given the opportunity to voice
they
out
have all
enough?
They have all the opportunities. It's just that they have become politicized. All the unions. And then most of the people who come on board now, they come on board for what they can get. Let's take it from there. Okay? Now for the electricity tariff, it's unfair on the side of government to lift something that is around the scenario of 68 naira to 228 naira. That's over how many percent increment?
And when you talk, when the citizens lament, they say they are doing us a good by all this to make the electricity more.
No.
I don't know. The same thing they say during the fuel, the subsidy removal of the fuel. Yeah. You hear them saying they've saved so amount of money. Okay, like the electricity tariff, they saved 1.5. Is it million or $billion or so? What are they doing?
To be used for what?
For what? We've not seen anything that this money has been
like
used
Chief
for
Edward, like Chief Edward said. Allow me to just get there. Like Chief Edward said, these people seem to be struggling for what concerns them. All right. Now, we first started by them telling us that they've removed fuel subsidy, right? Mm-hmm. This is 1 year after, about 1 year after, right? Yeah. Where are we? What has happened to the cut off subsidy? What is going to happen to it? With the subsidy away from petroleum, we are still borrowing. So the next question is, Nigeria which way? Number two, they are talking about increasing tax now from 7.5% to whatever. Now, it has diverted a little bit into, why is it that most of the things that are basic amenities for the common man are the ones that the government looks at and then increases the wage bills, the whatever bill they want to raise? Now, there's no fuel for people to move. There's no fuel for people to generate their own electricity by generators. There's no fuel for people. And if there is fuel, they cannot buy, because wage bill has increased and then living wage have remained the way it has been. So what are you doing to Nigerians? I seem to be judgmental. Like I was telling Chief when we came in, I seem to be judgmental because are we being deceived, or we are just playing with ourselves? Do we care about our people? You are giving me, let's say, 35,000 naira. You have increased what makes me mobile and live full. You have increased it to 75,000. You have increased transport to 65,000. You have increased electricity to 220. Let me not even count it like that. To 20,000. Because 20,000 now will give you 84 units. Okay?
Of the
Yes. You know, the first time they started with band A, band B, band C, all this is.
They don't even have all these band whatever when
so,
you barely see the lights.
Now, what do you want Nigerians to do? What do you can't do a private business and you scale. Because you will pay for advert, you will pay for the rent, you will pay tenement, you will pay
for diesel.
You will no. I'm talking about government payments.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about government payments. Allow me to list them out for you.
Okay.
Some of them, you pay environmental, you pay hygiene, you pay tenement, you pay advert, you pay bus or vehicle license. Not government, not VIO of FRC license. License to use the vehicle. You pay for the writing on that vehicle. You pay for some people, they call them they used to wear one kind of yes. Then that one is all to government. Then in if it's Abuja, you pay AMAC, you pay FCDA, you pay FCTA.
On top of how much?
On top of that small business. Then, if you do POS and you don't have canopy, you pay space, you pay canopy, you pay POS. For POS, for you to have, if you have one machine, you pay 8,000. If you have two, you pay 16,000. And you are charging 50 naira. So at the end of the day, we seem to be paying all the bills that should be paid in a country where everything is working. But nothing is working. Nothing. The government does not give you anything. I'm talking like a wounded lion because I have been involved. You understand? So now, when you raise the wage, the living bill, and you raise your consumption bill, we will not have issues. You can't buy anything from the market. If you buy anything from the market, you don't have the money to sustain it in your fridge. Because if you run deep freezer from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., you have burned 10 units or 9. 10 units or 9 based on 228. Calculate it.
Just for a day.
Just for not a day, half a day. That's about 12 hours. Now, at the end of the day, everything is working towards demoralizing the country. I don't care about union here. I'm talking to government. SARS or whoever is in charge, they should look into this. The president, I'm sorry to say this. I'm not for him. I'm not saying that he's doing very well. But what I'm saying is, it's as if the president is not even aware.
I tend to disagree on that issue because definitely the president should know whatever it is that is happening. You have ministers, you have your ears.
Don't assume it. Don't assume it.
Will feed you.
Don't assume it.
It baffles me
the information that gets to the president as a person are filtered. Are you aware?
Actually, the president in one or two occasions said he's aware of the sufferings of Nigeria.
And he was aware before he assumed the position of the president.
But someone approached me last month and said he wants to go to court and seek for the leave for him to commit crime. And but he's still sourcing for the lawyer that will stand for him.
A pro bono lawyer that can pay the bills for him.
Yes, that because he has checked his wages, it's nothing to write home about. He has 4 kids. They are all in school. He cannot pay their school fees. He cannot pay house rent. And even feeding is a problem. So he wants to go and seek a legal right for him to commit a crime as the alternative. So I laughed about it. But when I went home, I had a deep reflection on what he was saying. And I said, he might seems as a lunatic, but it's something that the country should have a deep thought about. Of course, when you pay somebody less than what even a bachelor cannot even he cannot take a bachelor for even 2 weeks. and you want a
weeks is
married
too much.
man
In
or
Nigeria
a
as it is
family
now.
man or with children to be able to, sustain them for a month. It's unfortunate. Nigeria is just a laughing stock. All what is happening is just try and error. Why is it try and error? Because there's no will, there's no political will to see that we are out of this crisis, economic crisis. No will. There's no will. What does it take Dangote to fix a refinery and start a production? How much has been pumped into Warri refinery and Kaduna refinery? Maybe in the next few days from now, Dangote can come and say, okay, he wants to build a power plant where he can be generating light for Nigerians, and we'll give applause, and he will get into it again.
With his refinery.
You understand? These are the kind of things we want to fix us. If we want to mortgage this country to one man monopoly to run this country and every sector of it, let's give it. Let APC hand it over to one man. That is what I think they are out for. Because they have not done anything, one thing, to assure Nigerians they are ready to get us out of this crisis. They are dipping us deep into poverty. How much is $1 today? 1,480 something. And these are the countries that are saying they are doing this, they are doing, chasing people, running their daily affairs, running their business. And at the end of the day, you get nothing, no result. Corruption on a daily basis from this administration, even what's on the last administration. We're talking about aviation. What has happened there? Is it not the same Minister of Aviation that was even defending the former minister? Now, he has now automatically seen that there is fraudulent transaction in the Nigerian whatever. These people are not... It's unfortunate. Sometimes when we say we are politicians, there are politicians with dignity. There are people that really want to serve the country with honesty.
Been sabotaged.
You understand? Yes.
We are being sabotaged by the corrupt ones.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's only when the head is rotten, then others can follow. But that's what I believe. But on this issue, I don't think NLC has gone down to the roots of this issue. The root of it is this level of our Nigeria economy and how our economy is being run. They have to discuss it. They have to discuss it. Tariff. Some people have decided not to even get ADC in their house. Some people are with solar. Some people are running their houses with solar and their businesses with solar. So talking about tariff or no tariff is not even your issue right now. So let's know that this is what we want to do for the good of Nigerians. Then we can be able to support them. But for now, the current executive of NLC are the worst jokers I've ever seen. In my own view.
Yeah, in my view also, the NLC should look for a way. If not NLC, the unions should look for a way to have productive roundtable discussions with government.
They've been doing that before and it has not been productive.
No. They've been doing reactive roundtable discussions. We are talking about being proactive. If there is a problem, you go and start discussing. You are looking for your share. Do you understand? If there is a problem before you come discuss, you are looking for your share. Because at the end of the day, we will make the noise, we will give you the platform, we will give you the media, and then we will shut down the matter. But you see, if union, where a union works, is where the government and the union discuss matters before they are brought up. This one, union hears about issues when I heard about them. So what's union? What's about unionism? Unionism is, I want to do something as a management. I will call the union. This is what I'm thinking. Look at the template. Go through it. Bring up your issues. Bring up your challenges. Bring up what your own people may think. So you preempt, as a unionist, you preempt into the mind of your people. Or rather, you do a roundtable talk with your people. This is what government wants to do. You do a conference, you do a convention, you do a seminar. You do a how do you call it? Village town hall meeting. You sit with your people. This is what they want to do. How do you people feel? And then this thing they want to do, this is going to be the impact. This is going to be the result. How do you people feel? They give you feedback. You gather the feedback is the data. You go back to the government. And you tell them, okay, look at this thing that you say is good, though. People look at it this way, they look at it this way, they look at it this way. But look, you are going to do it this way. Take 2 months. Let's try it. Then let's increase it. 3 months. Let's increase it. Let's introduce them into it in a simultaneous, term. Now, our union knows very well that no industry is working in Nigeria. No industry. We don't produce match stick. We don't. Grenade, we don't produce. Phone, we don't produce. Paper, we don't produce. Tissue, we import. I was shocked the other day at the airport where somebody imported bottled water. And then the rubber busted in the airport. He says, no, I don't trust the kind of water they produce here. Why? Because SON is not working. NAFDAC is just making noise. So what are we saying? Everything is going down. Now, you were talking about Ajero talking about being in front of government and of the people and all of that. To me, it's a joke. Why is it a joke? The government said they are going to pay 35%. They will increase salary by 35%. He said no. They should increase it to 615,000. You understand? Is that feasible in your own ear?
Not at all.
It's laughable. This is where you should believe what Edward is saying.
They might bring a template. You see, but there are ways. See, my problem is not bringing good initiative.
But the initiative should be feasible.
Feasible, something, yes, we can.
Because
the government can play
based
up with.
on the current reality. At least we can equate it that is how much a civil servant should be able to collect, about 600, based on the statistics, or more than that. Based on, because there was nothing like savings, even in their own what is it called, breakdown. There was nothing like savings. You're supposed to save at least 5%.
There's no savings.
There's nothing like
savings.
Their
breakdown. There's no savings.
When you look at it in that method, you discover that these people are not economics. I don't think there's an economist.
We don't have them. Their makeup.
Executive. They don't have it, because you have to go back. What is the causes of these problems? The cause of the problem is from what and what. We talk about modular refineries. Have you forgotten? They have given license. Where are they? Where are those locations? Now you're talking about every state should be able to generate their power.
How?
How many states have done that?
How?
Have you gone to
how many states?
Fund from even the World Bank as an NLC to give AYZ?
How many governors?
For them to have their own power plant?
Now,
these are the issues.
We are saying these people are not working effectively as they should. Are we saying we should take matters into our hands as the citizens of the country?
As citizens of the country, you must follow rule of law. Forget about the fact that the people that we have chosen to be in front may one way or the other boycott the rule of law. But then you can't take laws into your hand. You go to jail. You go to jail. If you think you have somebody to call, the day your hand is trapped, the number will not go. So everybody should stay put. Like Chief Edward was saying that a man was saying he was going to court to seek injunction to commit crime. You go to jail from there. You understand? No, that's on a lighter note. You see, we must encourage ourselves to stay calm. And like I said here before, everything is going to be all right.
For how long are we
Everything is going to be all right. Believe me, everything is going to be all right. The problem we have is that we have gathered a bunch of people that do not know what they are expected to do and giving them leadership. How can you have a system where a non-agricultural inclined person is a minister of agriculture?
What's he bringing to the table?
Is a commissioner of agriculture. Somebody that know nothing about security is head of security. Are we not going to have issues? Definitely. Now, you have a union that they don't have technocrats, to the best of my knowledge. They don't have economists, to the best of my knowledge. They don't have people that have basic knowledge, basic understanding on how communities are developed. And they're in the union fighting for who? Fighting for what? Are you just to go and argue? Oh, okay. Just
so
where...
you say yes,
no,
they are working. They are doing
no. Put people that have knowledge. Put people that are experts. And then they will now know, okay, we're talking about electricity. This is the implication. This is the this. This is the this. And then the people you are talking to should have understanding of what they're talking about. Based on that, we can have result. But where a blind man is talking to a blind man and telling him the road is black,
how do they?
the tire is yellow, or there's a bend to your right, or there's a bend to your left. So on a lighter note, like I keep saying, we need to sit down and reason again as a country, if there's going to be that opportunity. Because those I grew to meet from the early 80s are those that are still there. The only interchange that we had a little was the likes of the Ayabellos, who mesmerized and then, destroyed their opportunities. The climax at their beginning. But then, all the people that have been there are the people that are still there.
Recycling.
Yes. So, there's no way somebody like Kajero can now come and sit down and say, I want to talk governance with Tinubu over what? What do you know? You know how long he has been there? He will tell you, when your father was my son's classmate, you can't argue with me. What do you want, Ajero? What do you want? PA, please take care of them.
And it ends there.
Give them tea. Have you taken Indian tea?
Viewers, to call in, share your thoughts and opinions on the matters we are discussing today. This boils down on everybody. It affects everyone here. We can't exhaust this for now. We will have to drop it. At the NEC meeting yesterday, the president came to some conclusions and launches education campaign, says no child should be excluded from learning. We've heard this several times, and I don't know how many children are in school as it is now. We hear of the free feeding. I don't know how many of the schools are being fed. He also said he's banning members of the Federal Executive Council from purchasing petrol-dependent vehicles. Who are we deceiving? Who are we deceiving? How much do we buy the gas we are talking about to make use of this?
I think you see, it's unfortunate. It's only during the military that the words of the president is already
his power.
But here he might just say it, and those that will say yes, they have said, please publish the news. And when it goes, you see a total different agenda being running, and nobody will send it until when there's an opportunity to make a press, this thing will come up again. You see, when you're talking about free education, you should start. Charity begins at home. We have federal schools, secondary schools, primary schools. Why not give all the whole primary schools and the secondary schools scholarship from and said, okay, nobody should pay a dime. The only fee that can be paid, let it be a PTA fee.
The free education, today, I don't know where in particular he's preaching it, because you go to these public schools. Is it the free education of sitting under the tree, the dilapidated school buildings, and I don't know what those teachers are teaching this kind of the students? Is that what we call
when you're talking
free
about
education?
When you're talking about, it's just like people comes to borrow what they have learned from the past administration, how they can siphon. Because even though we talk about free meal and the rest of it, that free meal, that person did an siphon about 5B or thereabout. And if I do it better, I can be able to get triple of that. And they bring the same agenda that will not yield anything. The only way we can be able to see it, textbooks. I think I was in this program with one of the Minister of Education and Wajoba. And I said, why can't the federal government of the APC give subsidy on textbooks? Give all secondary school students under the
we're not
federal
talking
government.
About free now, at least subsidize
No.
it.
Let them give them free.
Oh.
Let it be there's something that at least the parents can be able to rely on. Primary school, you give them free because it's the learning. It's not just the war.
Well, primary school education is free in Nigeria anyway.
Yeah,
free.
Yes, you can say it's free.
Chief, let me tell you.
You can say it's free.
Chief, let me tell you the problem.
How free is it in
Yeah, primary
Nigeria?
school education is free in Nigeria. Ask anywhere. But let me say this to you.
Is it comparing it
Most
to
of these
other
primary
countries,
schools,
or?
where the problem is, like I just told you that the president seemed not to be aware of the problems, the hidden problems we have. So when people bring issues to him, he treats it on the surface there. Now, if you say that school should be free for every child, but the schools are dead. The schools are dead. Travel. I'm a missionary. I travel the nooks and crannies of the villages of this country. The public schools are dead. Many primary schools, teachers don't go to school. They're on the farms. Now, how are you going to solve this problem? This is what you should be looking at. First, do a national conference with the education secretaries from every local government. Every local government have education secretary, yes. They know the number of schools that are functioning, the number of schools that are not functioning. They know the number of teachers they have per primary school. I know a lot of primary schools that if you go there now, the teachers are not there, the pupils are not there, but the registers are there. The registers are there. If you come, they'll give you data.
When they come, they sign in and
they sign in and pull out. There. Most of the time, they don't even go to sign in. And then, so who do you want to feed? Is it the ones that are begging on the road? So a number of these children, apart from the fact that you say they should give textbooks, where do you take the textbooks to? Teach them? You take it to their father's house? So now, if we want to do thorough work to get schools working, to get children in school, my advice to the president is simple. Call the stakeholders. Invite, okay, how many schools do you have in Nigeria? 774 local governments. We want to see the chairman of all the PTAs. Let them come. They will tell you, sir, the schools in my own local government, none of them is working. Now private school now. Most of the teachers are private schools. So at the end of the day, who exactly do they point to the president to feed? Those that their parents have painstakingly taking them to private schools that they cannot pay, or which? Okay, are we saying that any child you see on the road you should take the child like they do in those days? If you meet a baby on the road, I say, what are you doing? What are you doing on the road? You carry the baby, you take the baby to school. The headmaster will now start looking for the parents. Who is the parent of this baby? And the baby is registered.
80s, 70s.
But you see, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go based on the fact that the people that have access to the president to give him information, unfortunately, if a man becomes a leader in African countries, they become blind, they become deaf. They no longer see, they no longer hear. The things that pain them, that brought them to sit, they no longer see those things. They say, I'm not aware.
How?
So the president should go to the grassroots. Let him look down. Even the Bible said, God is up above, but he looks down to look for the sons of the poor, that he may help. If God looks down, then leaders should look down. So what they are telling them is different from the reality. The reality is that there are no schools for these children to attend. Yes. One of my friends is running a program right now, building a school project. Or repairing or rebuilding a school project. And then he's co-opting his friends. He said, come, let's put money together. There's this school in this village, it has fallen down. Let's restructure a class. And let the children be going to school in the morning. Yes, let them have somewhere to stay. And let get a teacher. Pay PTA teachers. Let them teach them. Since their parents cannot pay for private school. Why not look for people like that? And come, how did you get your data? How do we get there? How do we do? If you cannot deal with the PTA chairman of public schools, or you cannot deal with the ES of schools, or you cannot deal with the principals because they will be afraid to come and expose their governor that their school is not working, there is a way to get at these things. Or get a private entity. Empower those that are faithful, trustworthy,
do we have
proven, who are not hungry.
Do we have those caliber of people?
Yes, there are a lot of them.
Oh.
A lot of them. And this country is going to work. But until these heavy, hungered people who are about themselves, I don't want to say greedy, who are about themselves are removed out of the way or are left on seat but unused, we will not go anywhere yet.
All right. Before we will touch a little on the Fubara Wiki drama that is going on, I have this story. The federal government plans new wage system based on workers' productivity. When I went through the story, okay, I don't know, it's laughable. How is it going to play out here in Nigeria? I know in other Western countries, like in the US, you work up, they pay you per hour, the number of hours you work and stuff like that. In our civil service offices these days, some will go in the morning, and before you know, they are out of the office. Some will come late, the same thing, before you know, they are out of the office. How are they going to measure this now?
It's simple to measure. Before Chief will throw light there. It's simple to measure. But it's risky for those who are going to be committedly serious with it. Take it. You are the head of the department. You don't like me. But I'm a functional staff. I come on time. I do my work. But somehow, by reason of either personality trait or something, you don't just like me. You like him, but he comes to the office drunk. Or he comes and he's just stubborn. You just like him for being stubborn. When the time to grade come at the end of the week, who do you grade better?
The one you like.
The one you like. So those who are actually doing the work will work for those who are reluctant and nonchalant about the work, and they will pay them. At the end of the day, you will finally destroy the whole system. So whoever brought the advice that people should be paid based on scores, productivity score, it's not just productivity. Productivity score, somebody scores it. It's like you are collecting data. Somebody scores it. How faithful, I'm repeating that word again, is the scorer? Or is it where you get a teacher to set an exam and then make the teacher to write the exam? What are you talking about? Now, I know the world of leaving people to work with their conscience has passed, unfortunately. But let's not bury it.
Just 30 seconds on this before we go.
Like I want to say, the president should have started from himself, not to receive any dime from Nigerians until he fixed the mess he promised. He said Nigeria will work. He's just giving some months, and Nigeria will get back, and the economy will work better. Then is it functioning based on capacity? So he should, like I always say, charity begins at home. He should start by himself. When you lay example, use yourself as an example, others will follow. So he should stop receiving kobo from Nigerians.
Like, sorry to cut you, like Akpabio is saying, reduction in cost of governance. Like, why say that? Why not start from you before you even voice out? Let's see it happen from you. Let it come from you.
The issue here, when some, leaders, our political leaders, believe that the rules are made for them, for others, not them. They are made for others, not them. They make rules, and at the end of the day, don't obey it. I heard that some fleets of aircraft will be sold. Has it been sold? But it was, politicized, published. At the end of the day, what has happened? Are you telling me that people can't acquire those dormant aircrafts? But some of them will be used for party and travel out of the country by their kids and their relatives. So the issue here is, let's keep some certain distractions. All these are distractions. We know what to do. If you want to fix this economy, get modular refineries working allow private individuals to invest on power generation, allow states to generate electricity on their own capacity, allow states to function. When states decide to function, then you will discover that the pressure at the center will be reduced. That is where we are.
All right, we'll leave that there. Let's we'll watch a very short clip on as Fubara vows to probe Wiki's administration. This drama has been going on for quite a number of months now. We'll see how that unfolds. Let's watch this clip.
The brand new Attorney General of our dear city. Why are we bringing you at this very critical time? You have a big tax. As it is today, in the local parliament, they said the jungle has matured. We will be setting a panel of inquiry to investigate the affair of governance.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
So brace up. Brace up. I'm not going back on it.
Okay, we just watched this clip now. My question here is, if Wike and Fubara are not on a loggerhead, no beef, nothing is going on, will he probe his administration as it stands now? If there was nothing between them going on as it stands.
For the first time that Fubara now has started acting like at least like a local dog. Wike was a bulldog before, bullying everybody, biting, but at least for once he has stepped. These is not about him, it's about River State. There's supposed to be a breakdown of work well done by Wike administration.
Yes, I know that. But he brought him, remember, he brought him.
Was part of the government.
He brought him in. And so, if there was nothing going on between them as it stands now, will he have said he wants to probe the administration?
I want to see Fubara as the governor of River State. And even if Wike is his elder brother or biological father, he has every obligation to probe him, despite being in the administration, because Wike is the head of River State at that time. And he should also know when he goes, he himself will be probed by the next successor.
Okay, now as a minister of the Federal Capital Territory, doesn't he have any immunity as an...
He's a minister.
He's a minister.
Okay, the minister doesn't have immunity.
He's not probing Wike. Let's let this be clear.
But that is what it looks like.
He wants to probe. He wants to check the
governance during the 8 years of his
governance
administration.
Is not a person. You see, when you personalize governance, you are creating problems. Do you understand? Governance is not a person. So he's not probing Wike. He's probing the governance, the system. Meaning that if during this time a road was done, for example, you are asking who were the contractors. Contractor come. How much was approved for you? By my paper, this is what was approved, 50 billion. How much did you get? From contractors, I got 20 billion. Okay, let me have your papers. The papers you use to purchase whatever you purchase to do the road. Then the 30% procurement requirement for you, whatever you do, you have 30% of something. So let's check it out. That's what he wants to do. If at the end of the day, the contractor said, they gave me 30 billion, but on your own paper you say it's 50 billion, man, no deal. Then they'll not say, okay, where is the commissioner? Is this Wike? It's not about
So now
weekend first.
we're running out of
No,
time.
no,
As we round off.
it is necessary for us to know this probing process and protocol.
So as we round off now with your last word, how do you see this played out at the end of the day?
All this is a joke.
You say it's a joke.
You think nothing is going to come out of this?
All this is a joke. Take it from me.
Yeah.
These are political jingles playing out. At the end of the day, we go back to where we have been. Except
there'll be reconciliation.
Bam.
But do you know one good thing about this is that, like I said, I always say there's always time for everything.
That's all.
Now there's time for governance. Wike has bossed Fubara to the wall, and he has to bounce back. And when he needs to do that, he needs to deal with all, responsibility to salvage River State. A lot will come up. The issue is that Wike does not know when to leave. He doesn't know when to step back. And that is the problem of most African politicians. There's always time to say, no, I have finished, I have done, let me relax and move back. For God's sake, Peter Odele did that in River State and went back after he failed the mission to be the president. He stayed and became a godfather, a respected stakeholder of River State. I wish Wike would have done same. But being a governor and FCT minister under another party and eyeing the presidency is something that I think he might not get, because he has stepped into many toes without knowing, based on his pride and whatnot. But for the good of Nigerian politics, is healthy. What is happening in Rivers State is healthy for the Nigerian politics. It's healthy, just like we have seen how loyalty is all about from the area of Kogi State Governor rescuing his predecessor. I wish such a thing would have
for the wrong
I wish,
did.
but it's a vice versa when it comes to River State. So that is the two angles we are learning. We are all students of politics.
We'll have to drop it here. Thank you so very much. We'll see how the whole drama unfolds in the later days.
Yeah, it's a script that is being played out from NLC to River State
to the president.
That is
all right, thank you so very much, Pastor Dr. Agada, for your time here and your contribution. We are grateful for honoring our invitation. And Honorable, thank you very much for being a part of the program. And as we draw the curtain on today's edition on Now Streaming, I leave you with this quote: there is always enough for the needy. There is never enough for the greedy. No nation was ever ruined by trade. Everything is a trade-off. If you want a high standard of living, you have to settle for a low quality of life. May we all live to experience a new Nigeria. Thank you, viewers, for your time on the program today. Let's do this again. Same time, same station tomorrow. Do have a pleasant day and stay safe. I am Rachel Ibunu. Bye for now.